Good morning. Welcome to another Luxe Chit Chat, and get ready with me because Kat is too lazy to do two separate videos. We're putting it together. Ooh, what's this? In the news. My Apple Watch tells me too many things. In today's Luxe Chit Chat, we're going to discuss if having a wish list makes you buy more things and create almost a FOMO kind of behavior. And I actually have a real life example of myself because this year, if you watch one of our luxury live shows, we actually shared, myself and Amy. I just say we, assume that you know. So myself and Amy, we had a luxury mindset set for 2021. And for me, one of it is not to wish for more things, not to have a wish list. I tried my best. I would say about 80% did it, because for all these years being on YouTube, I've been doing like wish lists, having a wish list, looking at this. But this year in particular, I don't actually have a wish list. If I saw something, I won't immediately say that's in my wish list. I would just say, if I like it, put it on my mind for a little bit, and if I still like it after a while, I will buy it. But I don't consider those things like wish lists. I feel like wish list is a little bit more long term. So before I get into the whole discussion, hi, my name is Kat. If you are finding my channel for the first time, I love luxury related topics. I love talking about luxury. I love luxury handbags, especially. Reviews are one of my favorite videos to do. I also love skincare and makeup, so I don't know, I just started this little combination because I do need to get ready for my videos, and I have all the makeup in front of me. It's actually a mess, but I'm not going to talk about the makeup. If you're interested in anything that I put on my face, I will link everything in the description section down below. And I hope you guys will subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed it, and for everyone else, let's get started. Let's start by talking about this concept of wish lists. When I started my channel on YouTube, I came across this term, wish list. What's a wish list? I never had this concept of creating a bucket list of items that I want to buy. If I like something, I would save for it, or I would buy it if I had the funds immediately. And having a wish list meant I had this list of things that I wanted to buy in the future, and it's something that I always would constantly review and look at and see if I still like it, and or even have this list to be like the ultimate list of items that I want to get. I never had it for before I even started on YouTube. I've never had the privilege of wanting so many items at one go, because in my head, when I hear the word list, I always think of more than one item, at least a few items. And when you talk about luxury, that's a very expensive kind of list, right? So maybe in the back of my head, it just never seemed possible. So when I started buying luxury, it's always just the one item, the one that's okay, I do want a Speedy, and when I got it, I'm so content with it. I never think of having the next item. It's just that maybe after a while, I'm like, okay, I don't mind getting one more. So it's always one after another, not a list that I set, like your goals in life that you want to achieve in order to buy a house, in order to buy a car, goals that, like, that's what I think it's like a list, a dream list. But when it comes to handbags, it's just not, it didn't occur to me. So when I started on YouTube, this term wish list was thrown around a lot, and people making videos of it, and obviously I was looking for topics to do, and I also got into it and thought, what a great way to sort of set your goals, but from a luxury perspective, and have things that you want to achieve, save towards, and try and buy in the future. So I have done several wish list videos, and I can honestly say they are very fun videos to do. They get a lot of interaction, they get a lot of engagement from all of you, and for me, it's also a good way to kind of like record down what I want to buy and think about things in the future. So I like having a wish list right now, and I think that they are very helpful to keep myself focused. But in 2020, this is a bit gray, isn't it? And I did buy many things from my wish list, because I sit it and I'm like thinking about it, and you guys are really good at reminding me, isn't that on your wish list? So those are the things that I appreciate. I feel like it's very helpful to keep me on track, not to buy all kinds of things. But what happened in 2020 sort of made me realize that I'm not sure if my wish list is a good idea, Because on top of buying my wish list items, I was buying things that I see at the, spur of the moment and I really like and I enjoyed. And I felt like my wish list became a little bit like a burden, and also it's something that I was constantly chasing. Like, what if I don't get it? I became very competitive to myself for not reaching my wish list, because I said it, I need to do it. And I just felt like it was a bit, it fueled my consumerism, because I was just constantly chasing for the items in my wish list. I will always kind of like justify, it's still in my wish list, I need to get it. And that's what happened in early 2021, where I decided I don't want to have a wish list. I want to be how I was, 20 years ago, when I bought things that I liked at that moment, and I truly want. I don't have to keep dreaming of this list of things that, it's maybe unattainable, it's, constantly evolving, or it's just, I don't know, I just felt like I was very competitive with myself when it came to a wish list. Like, it was like a goal setting thing. It could be a character of mine, because I'm kind of like competitive as well. So this wish list became my scoreboard in a way that I just felt was very unhealthy. And I know everyone is different. Having a wish list for many people is what I said earlier. Like, it makes you have laser focus on what you want and not sway by all these trendy things, these things that, you see on Instagram that is just a spur of the moment. And after a while, you regret your purchase. So I absolutely understand the benefit of having a wish list outweighs the cons. But maybe if you have the same kind of character as me, where I tend to chase for things or goals that I set for myself, I feel like if I cannot do it, I feel like I'm a failure. So I think what happened was, over the few years of having this wish list and having people always say, hey, have you completed your wish list? And then me putting pressure on myself for not completing my wish list. And then when I do get the items in my wish list, I just wonder whether, is it really what I wanted? I'm kind of like deflated, wanting something for so long, and the high of chasing it is there because it's on my wish list, that when I finally get it, it's a bit anti-climax. It's like, okay, now what? And then chase for the next thing. And I just remembered something else about myself. I'm one of those people that believe that if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and if I don't get it, I'm fine. So it's like certain things that came out, if I'm not meant to be, I don't chase it. But I realized this kind of competes with this whole wish list competitive side of me, because if it's not meant to be, I shouldn't be chasing it. But because it's on my wish list, I feel like it's I'm so sad about it, or I get really, really upset that it was in my wish list and I couldn't get it, and now it's still on my wish list, and I'm just so bothered by it. So I don't know, I just felt it was pretty unhealthy for me earlier, like late last year. So earlier this year, when we did that whole luxury mindset, I set a goal not to have a wish list. And like I said, it's about 80% success, because I didn't really set a wish list. And I feel like this year I got some really fantastic items, because my wish list, which I don't know if I can find that video, was this extensive list of things that are like classics, classic Elma BB, I need to get it back, I need to get this, I need to get that. It was like this laundry list. And when I looked at this laundry list, I really felt overwhelmed. So I sort of had this clear mind where I said, I'm not going to wish for anything. There are things I want, but I just don't feel like I want to put it onto my wish list until I'm ready to buy it. And I'm ready to buy it. If it's there, I'll get it. So there are many things, like the ultimate things, like the Rolex. It's always been on my wish list. But if it's still like on my wish list this year, I feel like I would be chasing it, especially when it's so difficult to get. I felt quite relieved that I don't have this list of things that I constantly want. During this year, like I said, I got things that I never expected, because I wasn't obsessing over this wish list. I got my Bottega bag, I got my Prada crystal bag, and they were never on my wish list, but I love them. So I don't know, I just feel like there were things that it really opened up my eyes to possibilities. On the flip side, I did buy a few things at the spur of the moment. Like, I just didn't really think too much about it and I just went head first, just jumped forward into it. I know we're gonna talk about that in like a luxury live stream. So, you know, there are definitely some mistakes and I wonder whether having a wish list would have avoided those mistakes. I don't think so, because I have items that I put on my wish list and I bought it. Later on, it's still a mistake or something that I realized didn't fit into my lifestyle, but it was on my wish list. I would love to hear everyone's thoughts about wish lists. Do you have a wish list? Do you constantly update your wish list? Do you think it's healthy to have a wish list? Really sit back and think about it, because I really sat back and thought about it earlier this year. I really asked myself, why am I always wanting to wish for more? This whole like, I just got a great looking bag. Why is there always the next, the next bag, the next this? And it made me wonder whether my having this list was fueling my constant wanting for more, which is why I did this experiment. So like I said, it's about 80% successful, because I really tried to practice it, where, I may still use the word out of habit, like, oh, this is my wish list, I'm going to wish for it. But once I say it, I don't really put it on a list or put it somewhere in mind. I just like sort of let it float in the sky for a little bit, and then I naturally actually forget about it. So in a way, I don't put too much value on that wish list or the words that I say in the wish list, which is what I did this year. I do have things that I want. Like I said, I threw it up in the sky. I mentioned in another video, like I want the Balenciaga times Gucci hack, or maybe the Cousin bag. But is it on my wish list? Like I just feel wish list is so much more solid. So is it on my wish list? I don't know. I just feel like I don't really want to put it there. So I'll just let it be. And then if I walk into the LV store and I still feel the same as how I felt a few weeks ago, then I'll get it. I won't feel like, oh no, it's going against another item that I want on my list. So I'll just get it. I think life has more important things to worry about than a wish list. So I would love to hear your comments. My experiment this year felt quite healthy. Now, would I consider my Kelly as my next wish list item? I think it's a yes and no. It's a little bit like how I got my Speedy 25 and then using that for a while, and then I got my next bag, sort of like the next item. So between my Birkin to my Kelly, it feels like my Birkin is like my first Speedy, and then my Kelly, or my Kelly to be, is like my Palermo, because I got that after it. But it's like I cannot even imagine what I want for my Kelly. Like I just feel like the Kelly, obviously it's iconic, and when I was in LV, I didn't really know what's my next bag, but I knew I want to get a next bag after using my my Speedy for a while, like my Birkin. I could not imagine what is my next bag. I was thinking, should I get my Lindy or Kelly? And I don't know. I was so like, I guess in like dreamland, I don't know, what, winter wonderland. I was so happy that I could not even imagine what I wanted next, that it felt I was quite relieved in a way, like just, oh my gosh, that's it. I don't want anything else. And now that I've, reached a point where I said, okay, I think I'm settled with, wanting a Kelly. Don't even know what color I want. Hardware, I kind of know that it's either gold or rose gold, but I cannot settle on a color because it's just so, I don't know, maybe I just don't want to sit down and really think about it. I think I want this, but at the same time, I'm not sure. So yes, the Kelly is a wish list item, but because it's so, I just cannot even imagine it. I don't even know how to say that that's a wish list item. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. It almost feels like a gift, because you really don't know what the permutation could be, which I kind of like. I like the anticipation. I like the wanting, and I'm okay with that. So I guess you could say my Kelly is a yes and no. Yes, because I do want it. But no, because I feel like a wish list is quite set. Like, you know the specifications, you know what you actually really want, and that's what you're gonna hone in on. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you could wish for, like, I want a Chanel bag, and that could be also a wish list, right? You don't really have the specifications, but you want a Chanel bag. So I appreciate it. But for me, I feel like I'm a bit more specification driven. Like, I would say I want this size, this color, this leather, you know, I put everything down so that I'm very visual on what I want. But I just cannot visualize my Kelly. I don't know. It's just, I just cannot visualize it. I can only say I want a Kelly. Just like how people say I want a Chanel bag. I want a Kelly bag. And I'm struggling to visualize it. What's the 20-30% failure of what I set out to do? There are a couple of things that I have added to my, like, I don't want to put it in a wish list, but I sort of added it. It is the VCA Guilloche pendant, because I haven't gotten it, put my name down for it, so I feel like that makes it a wish list. But honestly, I really actioned on it. Like, I literally walked in, liked it, showed you guys and said, okay, let's do it, let's get it. The recent video, so the whole Balenciaga Cousin bag, kind of like obsessing over it. Yeah, I kind of added it to my wish list because I like it. Though I haven't gotten it, so I've just thrown it up into the sky. And let's see what happens next year. So when 2022 rolls by, I do wonder if I can continue this no wish list challenge for myself. And I think it's gonna be a 50-50. 50% definitely can, because I honestly, besides those two items, this Balenciaga Cousin one may just be floating in the sky and not really a wish list. I feel like yes, 50% I can do it, because right after these two items, I don't really have anything I'm looking forward to. I'm really trying to wonder. Because if I want to say Hermes bags and all, they are so hard to get that I just feel it's too stressful to put it as a wish list item, because you can't really wish for Chanel bags. Oh, you can, sorry, Hermes bags, you can, but it doesn't mean you'll get it. And it's just like, ugh, like I said, I'm competitive. I want to work towards things and I want to get it, and not knowing if I can get it just bugs me. But at the same time, I think I can't. Why? Because I'm on YouTube. Wish lists, you know, the truth, wish list videos are one of the best videos to film. They're easy to film. They are, you know, conversational videos, and, you know, it's great content and you guys like it. It's great engagement. So I just feel like I have to create a wish list video and just chit chat about it. Maybe I could create one, but let you guys know it's not really wish list. You know what I mean. And I'm always honest on my channel. If it's not on my wish list, it's not on my wish list. And if I name nothing on my wish list, I don't want to just create and say something is on my wish list when it's not on my wish list. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't like to lie. So, or I don't like to make things up and say I'm gonna do, but not gonna do. It's just not right. At the back of my mind, I do believe that wish lists create this FOMO-ness of us. It is definitely one of the major factors, because we just are never content with what we have. We're just constantly wanting more and more and more. And I don't think FOMO is all that bad, honestly. It's not. It's fun. But there should be some ways to manage it. And we know our own ways. And I just feel like for me, one way for me to manage my FOMO-ness is not to have a wish list. I want to know, comment below, how many of you have more than 5 items on your luxury wish list? I'm just curious, no judgment. I just want to know, are you going to get all 5 of these items in your collection? Or you're just putting it there to see if you would like it in the future? So you're sort of just having a vision board that could be something that you're aiming for. Are you going to be happy once you complete the 5 items? Are you going to add more to that 5 items after you get the 5 items? Is your list continuing to grow, like it's your first milestone, then your next milestone. I just feel like I'm at a mindset where I don't really want to put things on a wish list. I just really want to get things at this moment. If I like it and I still like it after a couple of weeks of thinking about it, I'll get it. I just don't want to like have a list of things. Yeah, I'm just at that mindset. So yeah, I think in 2022, I will try to practice this on my own, of course. I'll update all of you. But in terms of content, I will still put out content talking about wish lists because, it's content. It's entertainment for all of you. Ooh, maybe we'll use Velvet Affair today. I am by no means perfect. So maybe come 2022 June, I'll be like, oh no, hang it. I need a wish list because this whole shopping spree that I'm doing is going way out of hand. Or maybe I would be okay with this whole resolution that I'm trying to create for myself. Who knows? But whatever it is, I'm a girl. I'm allowed to change my mind. And I do it all the time. So anyway, I hope you liked today's Luxe Chit Chat, and I hope that I wasn't rambling too much. I'll cut out as much as I can from all the nonsense. But I would love to hear your comments, and also let me know in the comment section down below if you have any suggestions for the next Luxe Chit Chat Get Ready With Me. I enjoy doing these videos because they are super casual. They are really just chatty videos, and I love to read all your opinions about it as well. So if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that notification bell as well. Otherwise, everybody, please take care, stay safe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!